guys, Mixed Reality here, and welcome back to another speed build, except for this time it's actually going to be less of a build and more of a renovation. So recently, and you might have seen this video already, if not, you should definitely watch it first, I built my childhood home in The Sims 4. But as you saw in that video, my house is kind of ugly and definitely very outdated, so I decided to give it a bit of a facelift for this video. That said, it's going to be a different kind of renovation than I normally do in The Sims. Like, usually I'd focus on making a build like kind of pretty in that standard Sims way, but instead what I'm going to attempt to do today is make over the house the way I think my parents would want it. And first and foremost, that's going to involve building my parents a garage. So as you know, in The Sims 4 we don't actually have cars, but a garage is something they really, really value, and they're actually considering putting one in now, so I decided to go ahead and build one of them for them. One of the problems with building garages in The Sims 4, as you might have known if you ever tried to build a garage, is basically if you put a house on a foundation, it's pretty much impossible to make the driveway seem to sink down into the ground naturally unless you A, use terrain tools, or B, put everything on a platform, so that way the inside of your house is on a platform and the inside of your garage is just straight at ground level. I did think about putting everything on a platform, but I've tried to build with platforms, and it's really difficult for me anyway. I don't have enough experience with them to really do it in a timely fashion. Like, even this and my last build took me longer than I was expecting. So basically we're just going to have kind of an unrealistic garage that is on a bit of a foundation, but you know, our Sims can't actually use it anyway. So I don't feel bad about that. So another thing we don't really have in The Sims 4, obviously since we don't have garages, is functional garage doors. Although actually I think there might be one in City Living, but I'm not sure if that's a decorative one or not. But anyway, so one thing you can do to create sort of a simulated garage door is by taking kind of more of like a white paneling, or whatever color paneling you really want to emulate a garage door, and then put little windows at the top to give it that garage door feel, put some trim on there to kind of give it some dimension. At least that's what I do when I do this kind of build. I wanted to kind of give my house a very brick and blue vibe, so what I ended up doing is changing the siding of the house to blue. I gave the windows a new darker blue shutter instead of the kind of pale green one they had, and I also gave the front of the house a brick. I did, as you saw, play around with whether or not I should reverse that, so put the siding on the bump out of the house or not. I ended up going ahead and keeping with the brick in the very front because I thought it looked better. Also, I forgot to mention this. I actually gave myself a budget for this build. Obviously, budgets in The Sims 4 don't work the same way they do in real life, but for this one, I moved a sim in, so that way I could start my build at 10,000 simoleons. And obviously I can have money if I delete objects, but while I was able to accomplish basically everything I set out to do originally, the money actually does come into play. There were a few things I had to sacrifice to get everything that I wanted, but overall it wasn't too bad. You'll see I also just paved the driveway. That's something else my parents are planning on doing. Okay, so the first thing, once we get to the inside of the house that you see me doing, is replacing all of their carpet with more hardwood floors. This is something my dad specifically has said. Once they're ready to replace the carpeting in their house, they want to change it out to some of the wood that we have in our kitchen. Their kitchen wood does actually need to be updated, but I kind of feel like they would probably want a similar wood, if not the exact same wood. So I put that wood throughout the house, deleting all of the objects I didn't really want to use. So in The Sims, the room sizes actually weren't too bad, but in real life, our living room and our kitchen and everything else in the house is very cramped. So what I did is I want to make an open floor plan for the kitchen and the living room, primarily so I could give my parents additional counter space for the kitchen, because basically in our real life house, we only have one counter that we can actually use to prepare food, and it's really frustrating. There's not enough space. We oftentimes use our kitchen table, so I figure why not just give them a actual counter to work with an island. And so I'm really happy that I did that. I think my parents would really like that too. Also, so one thing that you're going to end up seeing in the build is none of the wood tones match, which I am sad about. However, the reason I chose to do it that way is because my parents, they just really, really, really love hardwood. They like quote unquote real furniture that's made of actual, like, durable, high quality wood. So I feel that they would most likely choose to have all wood fixtures rather than getting everything to match exactly. Also, any real wood pieces they have, they would also keep. So even though I probably could have gotten a lighter wood table, that's an actual wood piece. They really like it, so I kept it too, even though it's not going to end up matching anything, although I did do my best for the later furnishings that I did to sort of have more of a darker wood tone. I don't know. You'll see in the build, it's just, there's so many different wood tones, it hurts my eyes. We're also going to pretend that the kitchen cabinets are replaced with actual hardwood cabinets, because those are just cheap, like, fiberboard cupboards. Also, so I mentioned in my last video that I was considering buying Dream Home Decorator, the new game pack that just came out. Not on sale. And as you can see from the sectional sofas, I did, which is what inspired me originally to do this renovation. Well, I ended up not being able to use very much of the pack. I think basically I just used the sofas because, again, my parents' style isn't about being modern. It's more about having high quality, more wooden classic things, which actually is kind of what I value in furniture as well. I'm kind of old-fashioned that way. And all of the furniture in Dream Home Decorator is very modern leaning. So unfortunately I didn't get to use a whole lot, but I just thought that the sofas are just too cozy not to use. And really, I feel like that's the best kind of choice I have for the couches, because I think I might have mentioned this last time, but really what my parents have is like pillow top arm covers for their couches, the ones that are just built in, so they're really soft and you can lie on them, like lie your head on them without having to use any kind of pillow. And we just don't have that in The Sims. So I thought that these kind of most carried out that idea. So I did that. I gave them a nice hardwood jungle adventure TV stand, which it's definitely something I would like, even though, again, the woods don't match. Oh, another thing they definitely would really love to have in an ideal world is a fireplace. Now, because I mentioned that the chimney we have in our house just kind of doesn't go anywhere, and I don't think it would be really cost effective to put in an actual fire, like a gas fireplace anywhere, what I ended up doing is I'm pretending that this fireplace is a bit more of like a electric fireplace. So it's all the heat without any of the work. So again, the wood doesn't match, but I think it is something my parents would actually like. And that was my attempt with the new bookcase, the quote unquote new hardwood bookcases, was to sort of match that wood. Again, I failed. And then you'll also notice there's a big gap in the fireplace area, and I wasn't really sure what to put there. You'll see eventually that I ended up putting up like another couch there, but I struggled for so long to figure out what to put there until that's basically not going to be added till the very end of the video. So if that giant empty space bothers you, that's why. It bothered me too. Oh god, that wood doesn't even match. It's even worse. But see, again, I think that it's something my parents would use. See, this is kind of a weird renovation. I don't know if at the end you're going to think it actually looks better. I think it sort of does, because at least there's sort of like a solid blue and kind of dark, medium to darker wood theme going on. But it doesn't look like your traditional renovated house in The Sims. It's not as attractive as your traditional renovated house in The Sims. Also at this point, I decided to give them a tiled backsplash because I think that would look really pretty. It was one of the Parenthood ones because I think that it's just pretty. It works with the blue. So unlike the rest of the furniture in the house, my brother and I both had these fiberboard, oak sort of covered wood desks, and they're pretty nice desks, and I think my parents would keep them even though they're not quote unquote real. I also, if you saw back there, I repainted the shed to match the siding that I put on the house, which also you might have noticed, I put the siding all the way around, so I got rid of that weird painted metal on the sides just because I think it looks nicer, and that's kind of what I see on all other houses. And right now what you'll see me doing is putting in a custom shower. So like I mentioned in my first video, we don't really have a shower that's like the one at my parents' house, which basically is kind of tiled around the window. So basically what I did is I just painted that part like a sort of an inside a shower, and then I used two spade doors, and then I put a curtain in front of it to kind of be a quote-unquote shower curtain. I didn't really end up liking the one that I put in, but I thought it was a good compromise between what looks like a shower curtain to me and also what goes with the bathroom. I put in a new tile that was marble because I feel like they would like some real stone tile. And I thought that the Parenthood counters, even though they probably wouldn't actually go for something like that, the blue ones, like I've never used them before and they're just too cute not to use, so I did it anyway. Sue me. So my parents currently at their house have a trash can that goes underneath their sink, and it's really small, and it's always been so annoying to me because it's just like, this is the kitchen trash. There's so much food waste, so much packaging waste for the food. And it's like our main kind of trash can that's in the house that everyone can access all the time. It doesn't make sense for it to be a tiny under the sink trash can because it's like literally the size of like a bathroom trash. Like you see in the bathroom right now, that's the kind of size they have in the kitchen, which is ridiculous. So even though this is my parents' dream home, I am putting a trash can, a large trash can in their kitchen, just out in the open for everyone to see because they are wrong. They deserve better. And sometimes you have to do things people don't like for their own good. And I'm painting the rest of the house blue. I ended up painting everything on the inside blue. I did deliberate whether or not I should keep my parents' room the same blue color. I ended up not changing it, but I think in hindsight I might have liked to change it a little bit. More jungle adventure furniture. I thought that it kind of did match the headboard a little bit in terms of the color, and it has a very wooden, old-timey kind of look. I also changed everything. Oh no, I didn't. Yes, I did. I did change everything for the wood tones to slightly match a little bit, which is kind of nice in this particular room. Thank God. And unfortunately, I feel like realistically, it is pretty accurate that a lot of the woods that you're going to find aren't going to match, because unless you have a lot of time and diligence and money, it's probably going to be really difficult to find matched sets for every single piece in your house, or even just in a single room of real wood furniture. Actually, my in-laws were able to find completely matched sets for, I think, 2 whole rooms in their old house. They had a complete kitchen set with all the same stuff and a matching bedroom set, but it took them years and years to accumulate. Okay, so now what I'm doing is adding that back fenced-in porch. We don't really have screens in The Sims 4, obviously, so right now I'm just using windows. Also, you see that I've not at all worked on The Office, and I was really putting off The Office for a long time just because I didn't know what to put in there. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I felt like I was running out of blue furniture to use and dark wood tones to use, and also I was just sick of the wood tones that I'd been using at this point, and I just couldn't. Also, as you notice, the blues don't all match either, because I tried to do light blue with dark blue pops, and I don't know, I hate that blue rug that I chose in the sunroom, but I feel like it's what my parents would choose, so it's what I did. Actually, this was a pretty interesting exercise in terms of trying to build a renovation not based on what I think would look good, but based on like what my parents would like. It was a lot of fun, even though it kind of hurt me. And I said last time my parents aren't super into gardening. They don't have a ton of plants around their house, but my mom does like to get some kinds of like hanging plants every now and then for like a summer, or like a small standing plant. So I gave her a little box of flowers to symbolize that. Also, so that painting that I just hung over the couch in the sunroom actually represents a painting that my mom did, I don't even know, sometime when she was younger, because she used to really be into like painting and art and that sort of thing, and she kept it for all those years, and so I actually was able to size it up to the size it probably actually is in like real life, and put it in that room because I thought the color looked good, plus it's finally a place I can put it. And now here I am adding additional real wood bookshelves to my parents' room, changing the wood tones because I could. Unfortunately, there was only one dark wood swatch, or wood swatch in general, for the closets, and I switched, if you might notice, I've switched all of the doors and the closets to dark wood. In hindsight, I kind of wish I'd kept them white because I just think it would look better. But I mean, if they like their oak door so much in the kitchen, maybe they'd like oak doors in the rest of their house too. I don't really know. And I also just couldn't bear to part myself. I couldn't bear, okay, I don't know how to talk. Basically, I couldn't bear to part with the kids' room bookshelf that I love so much. So I just pretend I got them a new one, but in wood, because I just can't. I love that thing so much. But yeah, as you see, the office is really open. I mean, in real life, it wouldn't be that open, because this is my parents' bedroom. So I struggled basically to furnish it. I ended up actually turning it to a combination guest room and office, which I think is something my parents wanted to do anyway. So I put a Murphy bed in there, so that way it kind of is just more sitting space during the day. Then it'll turn into a double bed when they want to have company over. I also gave them matching filing cabinets, because even though I feel like filing cabinets are outdated anyway, they should at least have matching ones, right? In general, I think having more open wall space has allowed me to place the pictures in prettier ways, which is good. It's probably the one good thing about this renovation, am I right? I didn't really change a whole lot about the landscaping. I did try to keep as much of it as possible just so I wouldn't have to pay for it again, because obviously items depreciate in value when you replace them. But basically for the front garden, I just scooted everything out a little bit because I wanted to keep that kind of porch, although I did change it to being a wooden porch in the front. I think in hindsight, I might have wanted to change it to a brick porch, but I'm not 100% sure about that. And I like the wood porch too, so I think I'm just going to keep it in. And I kept my jack-o'-lanterns and my little stump, of course. Oh, and you'll see, actually, I wasn't sure from watching the video, I did actually add a real bump out to the house for the living room in the front, because I just couldn't stand having the, at most, fake bump out that my actual house has. I just couldn't. My parents deserve better, so I made a minor extension to their house on top of the sunroom and garage I gave them. Because, hey, I'm doing all this already, I might as well go the whole hog, right? If that's how you use that expression, I'm not 100% sure. Also, last time, I was trying so hard to find the word for trunk for that tree that's right in front of the blue windows right there. The word is trunk. Literally, I thought of it while I was editing the video, and I'm like, oh my god, I sound so stupid. But yeah, it's a trunk. I know what the word is. I was just having a brain fart moment. It'll be okay, I think. Yeah, so basically I just extended the rest of the garden out to match kind of the garden I'd pulled forward, just scale it up slightly. Oh, and I ended up putting some more sunflowers in the front too, because I thought it'd be pretty and a nice kind of call out to the flowers on the side of the house, which I also left in. And here you'll see me starting to run out of money. So now is when I had to start making compromises about what I wanted to keep in the house and what I didn't. So what you'll see me doing right now is I'm actually going to shrink the sunroom slightly so I can get rid of the windows, I can get rid of that overhang, so that way it's kind of like an outer octagonal sort of shape. I don't know how really to do good octagonal roofs. They always evade me. I don't know how, so I just kind of kept the original gabled roof. I don't think anyone's really going to notice. And you'll see I ended up deleting the swing set because, again, it's something my brother and I had. It's not needed anymore. Also, it's kind of in disrepair at this point. And there are no grandchildren remotely on the horizon, so there's no real reason to have it. I'm also giving them an all-white fence all around because, again, the house is now blue and brick themed, not green and white themed. I put in some side hedges, although I don't know if my parents in real life would want more landscaping, but I think it looked nice, so I just kept it in. I also ended up switching the door to the sunroom to the other side of the house because then I figured that there'd be more space over there on the side closer to the garage because it was looking kind of cramped. I also ended up moving one of the pine trees over. Obviously, in real life, you can't move pine trees any trees. And you'll see right now I'm trying to put in a little patio area where I could put my grill, but I ended up moving it to the other side, which I think was a really good decision, and you'll see that shortly. I also gave them a red grill because I thought it'd be more fun. I actually ended up adding more overgrowth because I thought it looked pretty. I did consider adding more of those low-lying bushes that I used in the front of the house, but they were more expensive. So I just used the grass. And I realized in hindsight, this rug's actually kind of a cheat rug. I tried not to cheat in this build. This was by accident, but I mean, I'd already picked it. It kind of went with the vibes I was going for. Well, I don't know what vibe this house is going for, but I just wanted to have that rug, and I'm not going to change it. Also, you can see from this angle, my parents' bedroom is actually carpeted. I think that in actuality, they probably would want wood throughout their house. I just think bedrooms should be cozy, and carpet is cozier than hardwood, so I'm doing them a favor. Okay, so right now you're going to see me moving that patio area, and I ended up moving the grill over here, and I also put the fire pit in there because I thought that'd be kind of fun. You know, you could grill some burgers, and then you could sit at the fire and just kind of enjoy yourself. It'd be a good party place. It's a good place for the summer. Also, I think it makes more sense to have the patio open up this way too, because it's like, if you're going to be sitting outside, you might also be eating, and even if you're not using the grill, you might be just be coming from the kitchen, whereas opposed to, you'd have to go out into the garage first just to get outside, and I don't know if that really seems like something you'd want to do. So I think this is a better placement anyway, and it makes the area over there less crowded. Plus it adds a bit more of a dimension to the yard, a little bit more asymmetry. And now I'm trying to find out how to use my last bits of money. And you can see I did end up choosing to have a nice cozy couch in a kind of a tan to not conflict with the blue as much. Still leaves me room for a Christmas tree when it's Christmas time. And that is the whole renovation, guys. So let's just pop in for a quick tour. So the first thing I want to say is I feel like such a dick. So there are actually 3 of our pets buried in the backyard, not just 2. Also, where did that tree go? Okay, cool. The tree is just there. It just disappeared. Let me actually pop back into build mode so that doesn't disappear as much and we can actually see it. Okay, there we go. So there are actually 3 pets buried back there. I forgot. How did I forget this? Oh my God, I am a terrible person. So one of our cats passed away this year. The next cat passed away this past year. I don't have an excuse. I feel so bad. Anyway, rest in peace, third cat. I'm so sorry. You're a good boy. So there we go. That's the first biggest change I made. Also, so I was talking to my parents the other day, and apparently this tree, they had pulled down. Like, I don't even know. Very recently, they had this tree pulled down. And actually, it's kind of funny because apparently my dad just did that without telling my mom about it. But apparently it was dead, pretty much. So they got rid of this tree, which is like, that is like the biggest thing about our front yard. I mean, if it was dead, it's dead. It has to come down. But oh my God, like, that's part of my childhood. It's just gone now. So anyway, I guess I could delete it and do something else with the money. But I can't. This is my childhood home. It's going to stay there. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and pop into the house that I built and see what's going on. So this is our garage. Like I said, I actually changed the car out because now my parents, instead of having the minivan, they have a nice new blue, I think they said it was a Camry hybrid. Or no, it wasn't blue, it was gray. But anyway, so this is their garage. This is their lovely new kitchen setup and living room. It's kind of, again, mismatched in blue. This is my parents' bedroom. I gave them a new bedspread that's purple because my mom's favorite color is actually purple, and I don't really think my dad would care what it looked like, so I went ahead and gave them that. Here is my parents' new office / guest room. I put in a new Murphy bed for them. You see that I changed it from the blue to just a tan just because I thought it would match the room better. Plus, I mean, they actually do, like, so I put a tan couch in the living room, like I said, and they actually do have a brown couch right now in real life. So I feel like that's actually somewhat realistic. Plus, I didn't want it to clash with the pretty teal rug I chose. Our renovated bathroom with the cute little Parenthood counters. Another nice cheat rug, apparently, but whatever. It's cute. I don't care. And then we have our lovely sunroom. I put in a game table. I love putting game tables in builds. They're some of my favorite objects in game. That and the doctor set, the teddy bear version specifically from Parenthood. I don't know what it is about that one, but I just love seeing my kids play with that for some reason. Oh my God, I didn't finish painting the inside. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Also, what happened? Where's my door? I think this is a move objects cheat thing. Hold on just a second. Okay, there we go. So also, I mean, I guess there might be, oh my God, I didn't finish painting the inside. What is wrong with me? Okay. Now I'm ready. There might be some other objects that have just disappeared because of the move objects cheat. I don't know 100%, but anyway, if anything has disappeared, I apologize. Oh, the other thing I put in. So instead of adding the new closets from the new Dream Home Decorator pack, I actually ended up putting another coat hook in, because they have that, and then a shoe rack because that's something they have too in real life. That's something they want to put in. And yeah, I think with that's basically the whole build minus whatever disappeared because of the move objects cheat. Again, rest in peace, my lovely third cat. I'm so sorry I forgot you. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's not the prettiest renovation, but I think it's a realistic renovation just based on how the real world works. And again, my parents' personal taste. So anyway, I actually have another speed build that I'm planning on posting soon for an entirely different type of house that I think you guys might enjoy and hopefully will redeem myself a little bit. I can build better than this. Oh my God, I swear, I promise. Anyway, so I hope you guys like the renovation. Thank you so much for watching. And if you liked what you saw, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye, everybody.